the famous war against indiscipline, war against corruption in Nigeria? Do you remember the name that was associated with that war? A war that seemed to pound the people in line with discipline during a time that Nigerians were so indisciplined, as history has it. That name, that regime, the regime of Muhammadu Buhari and Tunde Idiabo. Nigerians will not forget those names in a hurry. After 16 years of stealing, impunity, killing and maiming of the People's Democratic Party, when the election was said to be do or die, when young men and women who went to the polling booths to vote were maimed and killed by fellow young men who were armed by desperate politicians, because the powers that be had empowered them, embodied them to do so. Remember, a child whose father sends to steal uses leg to break down the door with impunity, because the father is waiting for him and is there to always protect him. That was what happened during the 16 years of People's Democratic Party. Desperate politicians. A time where security became an issue. Chibok girls were kidnapped. Pastors were being used. Their private jets used to ferry money out of Nigeria to buy arms instead of investing in a military hardware. Today, the People's Democratic Party are shouting that the present government is corrupt. And I look at them, I shake my head. Are you not the same people that destroyed the economy? You had a chance and opportunity through OBJ, the man who had ruled Nigeria before. And with his age, everybody expected that he would bring Nigeria to the next level. After him, other PDP presidents came. Nigeria still remained corrupt. Nigeria still remained like a child that constantly crawled and never walked. Nigeria became a country of there is God. Nigeria almost became a failed state. And thank God for the wisdom of President Jonathan, who bowed out with respect, because everybody condemned him that he didn't know what he was doing. Everybody knew that Nigeria was like a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode. The economy was sliding. Corruption at the ports was going on the broad daylight. Corruption in the offices. Corruption everywhere. It's a story for another day. When Chibok's girls kidnapped happened, it was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. Deniers upon deniers. By the time acceptance came, it was too late to get the bandits or the Boko Haram. Remember, that is only corruption that is creating the massive unemployment or out of school children, that Nigeria is ranking #1 in the number of out of school children in the whole world. So you can see why Boko Haram became so popular, recruiting these children. And who were the causes? And who are still the causes? Politicians. The few elites that seized the economy of the country. Boko Haram recruited these children and started using them to terrorize the masses. And the then government resorted to spending billions going to Mecca to pray instead of emboldening our military to fight Boko Haram. The story is what we are seeing today. So when that name Buhari came on board during the election of 2015, it was like a necessary evil waiting to happen. Everybody welcomed it. Evil because he was surrounded by the same politicians. Good in the sense that the world respected President Buhari. They know him as the only Nigerian leader that is not corrupt. The only Nigerian leader that has no foreign account. The only Nigerian leader who can still go to his farm to feed his cow. That shows humility, in my opinion. So when he came on board, remember this period too, that Nigeria has been ruled forever and ever by the military. After military, it became ex-military heads of state. So the only language Nigeria has known, sad to say, is the language of the military. The only constitution that we have today was crafted by the military. And successive inept legislators who do nothing but loot our money have refused to change this constitution. After almost more than 16 years of democracy, our legislators who take home lots of money from our commonwealth have not been able to change ordinary constitution to produce the constitution for the people, meant for the nation, for Nigeria to move forward. What they go to the upper chamber to do, some of them, is to sleep, debate, and cannot change or withstand ineptitude of any government of the day. This is what we see today. So when in 2015 Nigerians came en masse to vote, we never voted for APC, because after all, it's the same politicians migrating from one party to the other, looking for power to enslave the people. We voted for that name, Muhammadu Buhari, because we know him, we know his records, we know what he can do. But lo and behold, he ascended power, full of hopes, full of aspirations, full of zeal to launch social investment programs for the people. Mind you, not the social investment program we have today, where even when schools are not in session, politicians are still feeding people at home and saying that they are feeding school children. Wow! Corruption still stares us at the face after almost 5 years of this current administration. The battle has been won and lost. And I know you will ask me, when was this battle lost? Buhari means well for the people, and he is loved by his people. He is loved by Nigerians. He fought and lost this battle. A general who has seen wars, who has fought wars, won some, lost some. Yes, of course. That's life for you. Some you win, some you lose. But during the 6 months that he battled to form his cabinet, he looked for men of integrity like him. He looked for people that can help him fight this monster called corruption. Because Nigeria is underdeveloped today, not because of religion, not because of tribe. What Nigerians need is nothing but development, basic amenities of life, water, light, and shelter over their head, and a little thing to eat. They don't really care if politicians steal all this money. Give them what they need. And the president came on board, identifying these needs, so it seemed, knowing how to go to the masses. He spoke to them in a language that they understood, and we lined up without minding whether we are from the east, south, west, or north. Nigeria is one and will remain one. If only we can develop each region. If only we can, you politicians can steal a little and still allow us to breathe. and not die in hunger, dying to our graves, only for you to speak in rhetorics. We welcomed Buhari and he went to work. That battle was lost during the 6 months. He fought politicians. He wanted to have his way. But, like always, they ended up convincing him that Nigerians don't deserve better. That the only language Nigerians deserve is what they call capacity. If you want to contest any election today, Nigerians will ask you, do you have capacity? That capacity is, have you worked with the government before? Have you stolen money? Have you stolen money enough to equip yourself to go to that battlefield they call election by the PDP? They call it battleground. Do or die. Our youths go to kill themselves, to kill people whose only crime was trying to exercise their franchise, to select their leaders. Remember, Nigeria will be different today if only we do the needful. Simple thing. Reform the electoral system and let people vote and vote out the leaders when they are not performing. Simple thing, right? But it's difficult to do. This is what PDP missed. When they were calling our electoral system do or die, what they needed to have done would have been to put the electoral system where it belongs, so that every vote counts. If I vote you as a leader and you don't do well, I will vote you out. When you know you cannot rig elections, when you know that your performance will speak for you, that is when you will take development to your people. When our legislators will not take constituency fund meant for development and it will end up in their pockets. It will end up in Dubai. It will end up in America. It will end up in UK. Remember, Nigerians will always torn between. We are saying now, are we going back to Egypt? Shall we go back to the military dictatorship era? Or where only few still? Remember, few people were still in them. Or this current quote-unquote democracy where massive looting is going on. Is either the federal level, the state level, House of Assembly, even at the local government, councillors from the ward level to the federal house, stealing is going on. Too many people stealing the commonwealth of the people. Do we follow them, the so-called democracy, or do we follow the military? We are only few still. This is why recently a former head of state who championed Pray for Nigerian project was named by a member of the UK Parliament as having taken Nigeria's central bank, Nigerian wealth, to the UK. We cried, it has fizzled out like the Nigerian syndrome. But history will be there to judge him, whether he is right, whether he is wrong, whether he is innocent. The fact I am making is this democracy is witnessing nothing but massive corruption. That is why we welcomed Buhari. And he went to work. He lost this battle during those 6 months of vacuum. Politicians convinced him that Nigeria don't deserve better. This is why he created a direct job meant for the people. 774,000 jobs meant for the people. And Kiyamu, who knows what the people need, who has no business being a politician, went to work. He wanted the people to benefit directly without the politicians saying, you must know me before you get employed. Without anybody saying, who is the senator writing for you? Who is recommending you? The ordinary masses wanted to benefit from this. Kiyamu, like Buhari, understood this. But what did the politicians do? Once again, they have frustrated him. They have barred him from reaching the people directly. And everybody is watching. Hans Akimbo, who are losing again, Nigerian masses. We have lost. We have lost. We have lost. Enough is enough. Mr. President, our brothers in the north are dying. Mr. President, Nigerians are speaking. We need that man we voted for. We want you to be the man you've always been. Rise up to the occasion. Farmers are being killed. It is human blood, it's not water. Our children are being kidnapped. They are people's children. I don't care, Nigerians don't care about the conspiracy theories by opposing political parties. We don't care. Nigeria's problem is not that of party. It's the same group of people. We want a leader that will be bold enough to select somebody who has no bank account, somebody who has the tenacity and not capacity to steal, that will rewrite the Nigerian story. That is the greatest gift PDP missed, and that is the greatest gift you can give Nigerians. The seaports today are being crowded. Are we blind? Liberate the seaport. There is Warri Seaport, Onitsha Seaport, Calabar Seaport. We are losing money every day because we seem not to be thinking. Politicians who are benefiting from this ineptitude are benefiting. After 60 years of independence, we still cannot boast of any international airport. Recently, Enugu Airport was so and so, in quotes, approved for a renovation of 10 billion naira. That airport is still not in full operational capacity. Port Harcourt is still closed. Kano is still closed to international flights. What are we doing? Now, as Nigerians, are we not entitled to ask questions? Can we be responsive to our civic responsibilities and know that this is not military era, that we can talk? It is okay to dialogue. Mr. President, we are dying in numbers. Mr. President, what you mean for the people is not coming to us. Politicians are hijacking it. We need to stop it. Mr. President, Nigerians are talking. Recently, the people in charge, the politicians, ordered Nigerians, about more than 80 million subscribers, to go and register their name with their phone numbers. What? Under this COVID period? It's as good as telling them to go and catch COVID and die. Nobody cares for the people. In a right-thinking society, this is what we can do over a space of time, 6 months. People will take their time without crowding the scenes, especially this pandemic period. Is somebody in charge? Am I missing something here? And I see the TV and see how the people are crowding the scenes, and we are saying COVID is spreading fast, that the outbreak is here again. Who is doing this? Who is talking? Are we listening, or are we missing something? People are dying in numbers. We need help. Schools are closed, or we are closed, and politicians are still stealing money, saying that they are feeding children. Children where? At home? What are we missing? Is somebody listening? Is somebody watching? Watch and see the corruption at the seaports. Nigerians are talking. Somebody should listen. Farmers are dying. They are being slaughtered. Our roads are unsafe. And we are praying like PDP. We need to pray to God to guide our borders. We have declared the war against Boko Haram a spiritual warfare. Come on, Mr. President. Nigerians are dying. We love you, yes. But shall we love you in our graves? The era of psychophancy is gone. Tell your spin doctors that Nigerians are dying. Propaganda and good governance are not the same. In a modern world, we should have technology-savvy information ministers that will not be spinning and arguing whether 10 Nigerians are killed or more. That 10 Nigerian students were kidnapped, or it is 333. We have gone beyond that. We need to know that this period that Nigeria is tilting towards a third nation, where people are seen in a broad daylight carrying AK-47 in the north, walking the streets, going to the market, and we pretend not to see. Let me ask this. Are we going to the era of there is God though? Are we singing the same song? Are we listening? Are we seeing? Mr. President, Nigerians are speaking. We need your help. We are dying in numbers. And this is not the man we voted for. We know you mean well. We know you mean well. These politicians, they are singing discordant tunes from what you mean. Take for example of you being invited by the National Assembly. In your normal good manners and good self, you wanted to go. Politicians advise you not to go. You lost the opportunity of speaking to your people, giving them hope, reaching out to them. They blocked you once again. What do they want the people not to hear from you? What are they afraid of? Nigerians love you. Rise up to this occasion and remember that history is there to judge you. It will not judge PDP or APC. It will judge President Muhammadu Buhari, the integrity czar, the man of the people. History will judge you. Did you deliver? Did you do the needful? Did you liberate Nigeria from the elites? Is a question time will tell. Mr. President, Nigerians are talking. We need their help. Nigerians are speaking. We are dying in numbers. Mr. President, we need your help.